Hey, sports fans. It's Greg Medford from Medford Knife, MKT USA. I'll be saying ASK before you know it. Let me move this camera over here so I don't get a crook in my neck. How's everybody doing today? I have some announcements. I have a story, and I have an upcoming trial I thought I would let you all know about. So here we go. Don't forget to go check out Medford University at medforduniversity.com. Check that out. We're updating all the videos. I think you guys will find the new format really fun. Evolving as our process evolved and companies evolved. So that's that little pre-show plug. Second show plug is go to medfordknife.com/UFE, Ultimate Fan Experience, and you can see the entries for the Ultimate Fan Experience. Check that out. It's pretty cool. If you'd like to participate in that, there's a spot at the top where you can enter in, and whoever is kind of the most baller with their little user-generated fun little things about Medford Knife and life with a knife is going to win this expenses-paid trip to the factory from wherever you are on planet Earth. We're going to bring you in and train you for a week to make knives. It's not really to make you a knife maker. It's to really make you intimately connected to us making knives, which should be great fun. Let's see what else is going on. Hate keeps me warm. I'll tell you a funny incident I had today. Speaking of my hate. Don't forget about the Ultimate Fan Experience. It should be awesome. Next will be our announcement for the trial of Joe Biden. That starts, I believe, tomorrow. I'm going to do the trial of Joe Biden. It'll be the people versus Biden. We may, during the preliminary proceedings, reroute prosecution of the case towards Camel Toe Harris. She's very particular about how we say. We don't want to say Camel Toe Harris or Camel Toe Harris. It's Camel Toe Harris. Now it's Vice President Camel Toe Harris. So it'll be awesome. You guys will like it. It should be fun. I'll be acting as the judge, and we're going to rip it. So you guys should have a good time. Fuck it, man. All right, moving on. I should announce, and I think everybody kind of knew this was coming at some point, that we sold the company. Kidding! We didn't sell the company. Are you fucking kidding? Well, the announcement I want to make is we're going to ramp up a podcast. I have an amazing studio next door. It's a 3-camera, 4K quality studio. It would make Joe Rogan jealous. It's fantastic. Well, won't make Joe Rogan jealous is we won't be the #1 podcast on planet Earth. But we're going to work on it. So when the time comes, I sure hope that you guys jump over to iTunes and jump in and listen to the podcast. It should be great fun. I'm working a bunch right now on kind of the reason why I'm doing the podcast to kind of gel together. And I'm going to kind of separate some of my political voice and some of my philosophical voice from the company, some of it. And that way, guys who just want to hear about knives and stuff can maybe gravitate away from that. And guys who've decided they kind of like a bit of my role through the universe, they can jump in on that. Here we go. So my story of the day. And this is a knife-related story, so if you came for the knives, now's the time. So we sell a pretty robust tempo of knives. We sell a lot of knives, okay? We've got there's a little over 30 people that work here, and a lot of hand craftsmanship going on at every moment. And it's how we can still offer a bespoke knife that oftentimes is going to be like nobody else's knife on earth for the price we do. I think a lot about Porsche. I went to a Porsche event a couple years ago, and they said, this year if you buy a Porsche, it's a couple years ago, I said, this year if you buy a Porsche, there is like some sort of crazy astronomical chance that you will be the only one. Like the odds are that you were going to be the only one on planet Earth to have a car exactly configured that way. The only one. I thought that was kind of cool. We like to do that with our knives. Sometimes we do batches, and a lot of times it's just onesie and playing and having fun and different setups, kind of ripping it, freestyle artistic composition. So story of the day. We sell a lot of knives. We make contact with a lot of people, and we had somebody come off the rails on us. And they came off the rails, like they didn't come off the rails, they just got nasty. And so I'm telling you this because a lot of times you guys maybe hear about it out there in cyberspace. You hear the fallout from one of these moments. So what happened was, and I don't get involved in customer service ever until Lindsay 2, Dawn, Jeff, Amy, Eva, everybody's hit the end of their rope. And they're like, hey, this takes a boss call because we're out. I don't get brought in until it's like nuclear war time. And then when I get brought in, I come in, I look at this situation. A lot of times I slap down the employee. I go, hey, you're being oversensitive. This is just the way guys talk. It's okay. Because it's like a Key and Peele episode, right? I'll be right over to fucking kill you. I'm like, hold on. That's not what he said. So we have a customer, they're mad about the tip on their knife. Now it happens, and sometimes we get a little potato chipping during heat treat where you get a little bit of warping at the end of a knife. It also is easy to miss that because it's not very common and it's hard to see, and you got to kind of be looking for it. And you say, oh, you put it on your normal checklist. You could kind of look at it 5 times and not see it, and on the 6th time you see it. So it's just one of those things that can get by the goalie. Not the end of the world. So the guy comes out of the gate and he's like, hey, Sugar Ruff and Chris Reeve, and they would never have anything like this happen. Listed a bunch of folks who are mostly my friends. And then said, I expect just this really kind of passive aggressive, kind of hostile chain of emails. To the point it had one of the nicest gals in the building, like on the edge of tears. So I was like, hey, let me take it. I looked at it. I could see I said, hey, listen, really sorry. We're human. It happens. That's the kind of thing that can get by the goalie. We're going to make it right. We make this right for everybody. I said, but when your knife gets back here, we're going to refund you all your money. And you're fired as a customer. Best of luck to you. I don't want your business. Life's too short to have to listen to people talk to you like this. And I said, on a personal note, your parents should have taught you better. Not nice. I said, I know you're going to trash talk me, but blah, 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 blah. Well, the guy sends me an email back, and he says, man, I'm sorry. I just was in the hospital for 2 months. I had COVID. And now, this is why I usually come in and I'm like, hey. And at the end of my little paragraph, I said, now, if this is just me misinterpreting text to talk, then my bad. Call me up. We'll shake hands and be friends. No harm, no foul, no problem. So the guy sends an email and says, hey, tell everybody I'm sorry. I showed it to my wife. My wife says I'm being a little mean. He's cranky. He just got out of the hospital. He's in the hospital for 2 months with COVID, nearly died. This is why I tell everybody, you got to be careful. You never know. This is why I tell my kids. If you get pulled over by a cop, you don't know if he just got the best blowjob of his life or if his old lady he walked in on her banging his partner. So you just snap a high hearty salute and a yes, sir. You take your ticket, and you can fight that cop in court. Not in your car, not out in the street, not anywhere else. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm happy. Where do you like me to sign? And where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? And everything will work out. But you never know what someone's morning was like, what their month was like. So I generally come out of the gate like that. And the vast majority of the time, it works out really well. The guy was a gentleman. Then he called me up. We shook hands on the phone. I said, hey, no harm, no foul. I said, you never know when you're having a bad day. I go, I've had a bad day and bit back. I'm glad. Thank you so much for calling. It's being a mensch. We're totally good. We're going to finish up his project for him. He had a minor annoyance amplified by the Sturm und Drang of life, and he was taking it out on somebody. He said, thank you for the email. You know, I was like, your parents taught you manners better. God damn it, be nice. In my kind of dad voice. He's like, I read through my emails to other people, and I was like, I owe some apologies to folks. Thanks for sending me the note. So that's why I do what I do. And I get called the, harsh one or whatever, but I get called in when the United States and China can't make friends. I got to drop the hammer. And most of the time it works out. It's a totally normal thing. So the guy got out of line. He got called out, and I did it in a gentlemanly way, but the way a man should, and he copped to it, and then I immediately, guy gives me a heartfelt apology, and you have to have the grace to instantly let it go and say, now, awesome, thank you, I'm humbled, what can I do to help you? Which is what we do every single day. I think we've made somewhere around, we're at 12, 140. We've made 16. We made about 85,000 knives now out to the public. That's 85,000 people that carry our product. And the biggest part of our growth was during the Trump administration, in which people seem to have gotten really hostile towards each other. And the last 4 years, I've been called every racist name you can possibly imagine. And it's because mostly when you're wrong, I don't care about your feelings. I just care about whether you're accurate. And so if you roll that way, there's a certain amount of the population that is just not used to hearing the truth, and they don't want to. I will leave you on this parting thought today as we ponder Plato's Republic. The Republic, if you haven't read it, most of you I'm sure haven't read it, it's okay. It's a heavy ancient Greek philosophical piece. But he talks about things that become the cornerstone of Western civilization. And one of them is the allegory of the cave. There's an anecdote he tells about, they call it the allegory of the cave. And it's that humanity is like sitting in the darkness in a cave. And there's a fire of truth behind them burning brightly. And he describes the images of life that pass behind you in front of the fire. And the shimmering shadows of those things are up on the wall of the cave. And most of us are born in the primordial darkness of ignorance, looking at the shadows of truth on the wall of the cave. And a few people will turn around and gaze at the fire. Of that few, most go, oh, it's bright, and turn right back around and put their nose on the side of the cave looking at the shadows of reality, because reality's too much. Of the group that stares at the light until their eyes adjust, some of them notice it's a cave. They stand up and they walk out of the cave into the bright light. And of that group of people that walk out of the cave into the bright light of reality, almost all of them run back into the cave, take their place, and stare at the wall of the cave. He says, and every now and then, every once in a while, there's somebody who stays outside and feels the burn of the light of truth and lets their eyes adjust to it. And he says, it will be a lonely place for you. I think about that a lot of times when I kind of tell it like I see it. I try not to bruise anybody in doing so, but I try to be a voice for my truth and what I see around me. And what I found through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls, texts, emails, and letters is how many of you out there who've got regular jobs in regular life. I have a regular job. In regular life, doing a regular thing, just trying to be a superstar dad, trying to just be a medium dad because maybe your dad was awful. I heard how many of you talk about your lives and having thanked me for continuing to kind of fight the good fight and say what I say. And what happens, I'm going to quote one other ancient Greek philosopher. I'm going to get off my soapbox and get back to my workday. Here it is. Aristotle said, the teacher of Plato, Aristotle said the most important attribute of man was courage. He said there was no room for any of the other attributes of truth, honesty, integrity, love, intelligence, math. There's no truth, there's no space if there is not someone standing there making space with truth. When you speak the truth, there's a little ripple that happens around you, and it ripples out into the people who hear it. And people know the ring of truth to their ear. We sense it. And it creates space for other people to speak their truth. So in me speaking my truth, I'm not necessarily trying to convince everybody. I'm being who I am. I'm trying to be my best me all the time. But I've received so much encouragement from people who say, I can't say what you say. I can't do what you do online. I don't have your voice. I can't speak as quickly as you can, or I haven't read as much as you have. So I'm going to be out here in the weeds with my megaphone, yelling about China, yelling about truth, yelling about facts. And I'm going to yell about feelings sometimes too. Because they're not fake, but they just aren't fact. And I'm going to do my thing. And I want you guys, anybody who wants to step into the fold with me while we're a bunch of geese flying our way across the landscape. If you can draft off me a little bit, totally cool. Because I draft off of other people who are flying out there cutting a path through life. So tomorrow, the trial of Camel Toe Harris in all likelihood. It'll either be Biden or Harris. I haven't figured out quite yet. And then next week, I'm going to tell you guys a great story about a Marine, which I'm really looking forward to letting you guys hear. Most of you haven't heard it, and I think you're gonna enjoy this. It is great fun. Now I'm going to take a few moments to go back since I left my glasses off. I'm going to throw some spectacles on, go through here and read some comments and say hi to everybody. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say hi. Hey, Terry, Trevor, Eric, Robert, Paul. How you doing? I'm doing great, Paul. Eric, hi, Greg. Ryan's watching. Christian Lee, Nick Brown, Daniel, Eric Lunt. Let me see here. Trials and tribulations. Indeed. We're going to have a trial. I submitted a definition Urban Dictionary. David, yes, you did. There are currently about 30 Mishimotos on the Urban Dictionary. So I asked Billy this morning, and I think he's going to follow up with me to find out if we can get a timestamp on who's actually got theirs approved. And then what we're going to do is everybody's got to go on there and give them a thumbs up so they don't delete it, because it's an awesome definition. It's like to avail oneself of being a cunt. And I was like, oh, man. And it got all these thumbs down from people who were like, oh, the language, the sexual objectification, blah, blah, blah. And then we just need to go on there and smash that like button. Let me see here. James Edward Solar. Edward Scissorhands. Nice to see you. Eric. Love the new style pivot. Oh! I should talk about the new pivot. I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. Brian, Craig, Larry, Tim Terry. What's up, Tim? Brian Upchurch. Moose Knuckle Harris. That's right. She leaves. Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. Lucas Agnew. Who is this guy? Lucas, I'm nobody. I'm just some fucking knife gavone. Damn, need a longer strap on that watch. Oh, I usually tuck it down in here, but it popped out in a video we shot the other day, and we just reshot some stuff to insert in the middle that I react to what I'm saying. I play two characters, and my strap was up in the first shoot, so I pulled it out. But I usually tuck it in like that on these NATO straps. Thanks for watching. Any word on Centurion? Not yet on Centurion. Thanks, Ron. Hey, Greg. Boom, boom, boom. What's up with the new pivot design? Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about that. Give me a second. I want your t-shirt. A bit like Bristol's. If a Saudi prince wants one, he has to tell them how much he earns a year to be considered. Oh, Paul, I don't know about that stuff. That's pretty cool. Did I mirror polish a fighter flipper yet? That's funny. In fairness, if I spin over a granite folder, I expect it to be perfect every single way. No questions asked. But I also know your dedication to the brand and a top service, and this is approach without being a con. You would go above and beyond to rectify. People gotta stop being wankers. Oh yeah, and the thing, Jack, is Jack Goon. He wasn't out of line. He wasn't wrong. He was wrong how he handled it. It tips a little off. It's got a little warp, and it can get by. And it's our least expensive knife. It's a $290 pocket knife. And it should be, for $290, it should still be perfect. We don't cut any corners, but it's the kind of thing that can get missed. And we're going to fix it. It's no problem. And we made nice, so we're all good. Shit happens, that's right. Watch, boom. I think we're almost done. Scott Miller, E5. Dan, right, keep doing what you do. I just added 3 new meds to my collection. Thanks, man. Oh, let's see what else we got here. I love the proximate stealth. Can't wait to add a Praetorian tee with an American flag. My father and stepfather were total pricks. Thank God for my grandfather. My dad was awesome, and he was a prick too. And I had 2 great-grandfathers, and it takes a village. My dad and I get along great, but he was kind of a prick to me. But he didn't know any better how to be. I don't. It doesn't even bother me. We get along great. Okay. Beautiful bald patriot. Thank you, Craig. I swear Medford live videos are my favorite notification. Thanks, Travis. But people have so much trouble hearing the truth. But yeah, that's totally right. Oh, there's all kinds of. I want that fucking t-shirt, Craig. What's up? Keep it real. Love as always. I hope you end up expanding outside the knife, making you have a bigger cause of insight to change the world. Oh, thanks. Okay. So, if you guys haven't noticed, you're going to see some knives pop up out there that have our small pivot screw on it. We call it our 4-banger. It's the 4-prong pivot screw. And here's what happened. The 4-prong pivot screw has been a nightmare since I came up with it. I was trying to do something scaled down that looked like our big 6-gun pivot screw. And what happened was, every tool marks it and mars it. So, we were ordering the screws, and the screws are really expensive. And I look out in our 50-year drawer, and I see maybe 1,000 of them. And they're all galled up, banged up. And I'm like, we're ordering more screws, and there's $4,000 worth of titanium screws, scrap, in this drawer. And then I said, okay, I got to change the driver on it. We need to be able to pop these open without messing up the screw and put them back together. So that's what happened. Those are terrible glasses. You're totally right. They are terrible. That's just what I had laying here and I couldn't see. But thanks, Bo. So if you guys see it, it's a major Torx head. That's way too big for the screw size. I did it on purpose. It's unique and fun, and it's got a kind of Mad Hatter scale to it. And you're going to see that on our little screw, and you're going to see that on our big screw at some point in all likelihood. Now, why, you ask? Because of the marring, because of the scrap rate. Also, I got to change things up a little bit because the dirty, rotten, thieving red Chinese Communist Party and their evil henchmen in manufacturing who copy everything, who knock off my stuff and scam everyone, those dirty, rotten scum, they need to have to make new screws. So I like to keep them instead of tearing on my throat. I want them nipping at my heels. So I make them make really expensive screws. So We're going to continue to change things up. We're going to continue to have fun, try to do badass things, and at every turn have those dirty, rotten little Chinese commies trying to react to us. You know the only good commie is?